Hello everyone! Today I am going to be updating on my project level up palette. I am working on level 5 palette. So in this palette I need to hit 5 bands in order for me to cross this level. This project called Project Level Up was created by Sophie Alexandra. It is such a genius project. I'm pretty sure by now you know the rules of this one already, but I'm still gonna brief you guys just in case. In here you randomly select a palette in your collection, and then for level 1 you have to use all eyeshadows in there once and hit 1 pan, and then for level 2 you hit 2 pans and use each eyeshadow twice, and so on. So it goes until level 5. After that it's up to you if you want to proceed with level 6, 7, 8 like that, or you want to resume to level 1. Most people resume back to level 1, and this is my first time doing this project, and I will be doing the same as well because I want to keep it moving and I do not want it to impact my that palette because I'm trying to finish entire palette, and it also keeps things a little bit more interesting, I guess. I have been working on this eyeshadow palette for past 2 months because hitting 5 pans is a lot. But I have made a lot of progress, and I feel like this month would be the last month for this one. I think I'll be able to hit all my goals. Anyway, before we get into the update, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Ravneet and I make a lot of panning videos. Now let me show you what it looked like last update. So last update, I did not hit any new pans. The one pan that we have on the bottom shade, it's from my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I had used a bunch of shades, but I hadn't used all eyeshadows 5 times. Now let me show you what it looks like today. We have hit 3 more pans. Yay! I'm really excited about all the pans we hit, and we have also managed to use each eyeshadow in here at least 5 times. And I'm super excited about that. Let's take another closer look at the palette. Let me turn off the light. That did not make a lot of difference, but I think now we can see the dips better. I have huge dip going on the shade Malibu, Rush Hour, Sunset Boulevard, Starstruck, and Rodeo Drive. And I managed to hit pan on Malibu, Melrose, Dreamer, and we have tiny dips forming on these eyeshadows, which is really exciting. I'm gonna go over all eyeshadows one by one, and I will let you guys know how many times I used each eyeshadow. And I'm gonna do it the way Danny does for her Pan That Palette updates, because I think it's gonna be easier in this case, because I'll be looking down a lot on the numbers. So let's do it. For the very first shade called Malibu, last update I had used it 5 times, and then I used it 16 more times. I know I hit pan on this one after 17 uses in this project, and I've used it a total of 19 times in this project, and I used it 2 more times to expand the pan. For next shade called Runyon Canyon, this is a tongue twister for me, I guess. Sorry about that. So last update I had used it 5 times, and this update I had used it twice for a total of 7 uses in this project. And the next shade called Lax, I really like it. It's a really nice accent pastel shade. I have used it 4 more times. In last update I had used it 2 times, so that brings the total to 6 uses in the project. And for next eyeshadow, I have used it 4 more times again, and I had 2 previous uses on this one in the previous update, so that brings the total to 6 uses in this project. Moving down to the second row, the first shade called the 405, I had 2 previous uses on this one, and I used it 3 more times for a total of 5 uses in the project. The next eyeshadow is a surprise pan. So last update I had only used it once, and this month I used it 16 more times to get the pan. So I hit pan on this one after 17 uses. It's a huge pan. I did not use it after hitting pan on this eyeshadow. I just love how it looks on the lower lash line. I would use it on my outer lid to kind of blend my lid shade with my outer V sort of dark shade. So it's a lovely shade for that. So for the shade called Vihu, I had used it once in previous update, and now I've used it 4 more times to get my 5 uses in the project. So for Rodeo Drive, I said in my last update that I am going to hit pan on this one, like this is my focus shade, but I guess my focus shifted away from this one because I was pairing it a lot with my shades in pan, those eyeshadows, and once I hit pan on them, then I kind of like drifted away from using it. So last update I had 7 uses on this one, and this month I only used it 3 more times for a total of 10 uses. So this is not going to be the shade I will be focusing to hit pan on. And the next shade is Rush Hour, which I grew in love with. This is such a lovely shade, and last update I had used it 2 times. This update I have used it 12 more times in the past month for a total of 14 uses in this project, and dip is huge. I feel like I'm very close to the pan. It's a really lovely silverish gold shade. Not silverish gold, but silver shade with gold reflex. So you can pair it with cool tones, you can pair it with warmer tones. I love it. And the next eyeshadow is called Abbott Kinney. Last update I had used it twice, and this month I managed to use it 3 more times for a total of 5 uses. And for the shade called Starstruck, this was again a shade that I think I would hit pan on, and I said it in my last update as well that I am kind of like focusing on it to hit the pan, but then again I would pair it with Rodeo Drive. So my focus kind of like shifted away from this one because I wasn't using Rodeo Drive either, but I still managed to use it like I guess decent amount of times. Last update I had 3 uses on this, and this update I had used it 6 more times for a total of 9 uses in the project. And the next shade is called Sunset Boulevard. I love this shade. I think this has to be one of my favorite eyeshadows in this palette. It is a really warm, peachy, pink, gold. I don't know, it's so shifty. Last update, I had used it 4 times. This update, I managed to use it 9 more times for a total of 13 uses in the project. The dip on this one is humongous. I guess whenever I will hit pan on this one, it'll be a huge one. And the next shade on the bottom row is called the Abbey, and last update I had only used it once, and the past month I managed to use it 4 more times to get 5 uses on this one in this project. Moving on to the next shade, which is Dreamer, and it's a surprise pan. For some reason, I used this eyeshadow a lot. I'm not complaining though, I got pan on this one. So last update I had used it 5 times, and this update I managed to use it 7 more times for a total of 12 uses, and I hit pan on this eyeshadow at 11 uses. I used it 1 more time to kind of expand the pan a little bit, and this is the eyeshadow that I will still be using because I want to expand the pan further. I want to look at like bigger pans. This pan is not comparable to the other pans in this palette, so that's the reason I just want to widen it a bit. I was using a precise brush with this eyeshadow, and that's the reason I guess the pan size is smaller and the dip around it is not as wide as it is in the other eyeshadows in here. I would wear it in my inner corners, on my eyelid. Yeah, I would wear it a lot. And the next eyeshadow is called The Hills. This is again the shade that I thought I would hit pan on, and I think I mentioned about focusing on this one in my previous update as well, but I did not. But still, I managed to get 6 uses on this one. So last update, I had 2 uses on this, and past month, I used it 4 more times for a total of 6 uses. The last shade, which already had a huge pan, I had 2 uses on this eyeshadow previous month. This month, I managed to use it 6 more times for a total of 8 uses, and I think I expanded the pan a little bit more, which I'm really excited about. This is how this palette is looking after 2 months of uses. Like, that's crazy. I'm really happy that I showed a lot of love to this palette. I think this was the perfect palette to get rolled into this project for this time of the year. We are in summer. I love using colorful eyeshadows. I wear colorful eyeshadows on my eyelids like all the time, but I love it especially in summer. I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing on my eyes today. So I have the shade called Dreamer all over my eyelids, and then I have it topped off with Rush Hour, which makes it look really pretty. In this eye look, I'm treating it as a topper shade. And then I have one shade from my pan those eyeshadows. It's called Wild from Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette, and I have it in my inner corners. I've been enjoying this palette a lot, and last month I really focused on this one. As you can see that I've used some of these eyeshadows like 16 times, 17 times, because I was using it every day, and that's the reason I was able to make such a good progress on this one. But on the other hand, this month's Pando's eyeshadows update would not be as exciting as the previous months, because I have been putting all of my focus on this eyeshadow palette. So there's one eyeshadow in my Pando's eyeshadows that I rolled in last update. I haven't even used that once. I am really focusing on getting uses out of this one, but I'm not complaining. I think you can do it all, but not at once. So I'm going on with that mindset for my project panning journey, and I'm not feeling worn out or anything. I am enjoying every bit of it. I am obsessed with looking at my palette, because when I move it this way, I can see the shifty dips. I mean, I love it. Projections for this month. I'm going to work hard on getting pans on Sunset Boulevard and Rush Hour. I think I can do it because I already have a lot of uses on both of these eyeshadows, and hitting 2 more pans would make me level up. I would also want to expand the pan on this shade called Dreamer. So those are my goals. As far as using other shades, I've already hit 5 uses on all of these eyeshadows, and most of these eyeshadows I've used way more than 5 times. I would not make myself use other eyeshadows if I don't want to. If I want to reach for any of this eyeshadow, of course, I'll keep using that. But my focus would be these 2 guys right here. And that was my project level up update. Very exciting. Updating this palette made me feel like I'm updating my Pan That palette, because I have been actually focusing on this one a lot, and I've been treating it as a Pan That palette, which is kind of, I don't know, it's just in my head. But today, for the update specifically, I put on a pastel lavender sort of shirt. I'm like in full mood for the pastel Lost in Los Angeles palette, and I haven't gotten tired of using this palette. I'm enjoying every second and every bit of it. So with that, let's wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching my video. I will see you in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.